Let's get into some shite. Hey folks, how are you? This is Rick. I'm doing Apocalyptic. That's right. This is a little podcast we do once a week. How are you? How you doing? You know, I don't even remember when I started the podcast. I think it was back in, was it November? We're getting close to 50. I think we're one before 50. I didn't even check and see what the numbers were today. But that's pretty good, huh? That's like, if it was once a week, that would be almost the entire year. But so we're half a year. Half a year through. How am I doing? How's it going? Do you like the podcast? Is it any good? Should I quit? I ask this all the time, but I don't get a whole lot of feedback on it. I'm hoping that you're enjoying it, and I don't think there's a lot of people out there enjoying it, and I'm okay with that. I understand it's hard to get a new podcast going, and that's fine. You do it a little bit at a time. As long as you're having fun doing what you do, it doesn't really matter if people come along with you for a while. It's good to have a few people. You want to have some friends. I know there are a few of you out there listening. You contact me. I appreciate it. It does help out. But you know, we're not just like nationally known. I'm not even locally known. I'm not even my next door neighbor doesn't even know what I'm doing. So, it just takes a while, but I'm happy to do it. I'm having fun. You having fun listening? I hope it's entertaining to you. You know, I've started watching this new show. I was determined not to get hooked on this show. It's a brand new show. I always talk about this. I'm really into the ID channel. I like the ID channel. Starting to get a little, I won't say jaded, I can't watch it a lot. Sometimes it's just like, it's too much conflict. I'm not really into the whole thing of just making a TV program, entertainment, let's say, out of people's problems, out of tragedies that happened in people's life. It happens. We all have tragedy that happens, but it's just like, sometimes it just seems a little exploitive. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, most of the people participate on purpose, on their own free will. They say, yes, I'll do it. But still, I think everybody probably has to give permission. But still, it just seems, I don't know. Sometimes I just feel bad about it. It's just like somebody had to die so you can have this program. It doesn't seem right to me, but I still watch it, and occasionally I enjoy it. And my wife and I talk about this because we watch it a lot, and so we started watching it. I think the thing that appeals to us, it's sort of true for the entire channel, because there are other true crime channels and there are true crime podcasts, and I listen to a few of those. She listens to more than I do. But I think what we're both into is the investigation. We're both kind of science nerds, and I'm very interested in how, whenever I could see a TV program on how they catch the people, that's what I'm really fascinated with. And I love watching a really, really good piece of investigation. When the detectives and the police department do really, really good work, those are the best shows. And occasionally you just see where the police department or whoever just totally bumbles it. They just completely screw it up. I hate those. And a lot of times there's like, we contacted the cops. They would not do anything. They just said, maybe she ran away or whatever. I hate those. It's like, what's your job? What are you doing? Aren't you supposed to be investigating? Get off of your chair and investigate. I remember my house got broken into many years ago. I came home. There was just crap everywhere. Somebody went in. I guess they thought I was rich. I don't know. They should have looked at where I was living. It was a little duplex. No one with money or anything valuable is going to live in a little duplex like that. I was single at the time, but I did have a video camera, and that's apparently what they were looking for because they took that. So I called the cops. Cops come over, and I was like, "What? Are you going to like dust for fingerprints or whatever?" And the guy just looked at me. He was like, "No, we don't do that." And he was like, "That's TV." Oh, really? Well, what do you do? I mean, you just come over and write stuff down, and they, that was it. They just acted like, oh, we just need to know about this. That's all. Anyway, so I'm really getting caught on this. When it first started, I saw these commercials for this show, and it's all about abuse, sexual deviants, whatever the people are called. The guys, they're underage guys. They're trying to. It's bad, and I think the show is called Underage Undercover, something like that. Undercover Underage, something like that. And I saw the commercial. I was like, I'm not gonna get caught up into this, because first of all, the whole thing is creepy. And when you start watching those kind of things, the creep factor is really high. But it came on, they were doing a block of it, and I started watching it, and I just got really into it. And it turned out to be, other than the fact, first of all, it is creepy. If you have any kind of trigger on any of those kind of issues, don't watch it. It's horrible. These guys, oh, terrible. It's good to see that they're getting them off the street, but it's just soul crushing. But it's one I would say I feel like the ID channel has really slacked off on the investigative part of it, and it's becoming a little more exploitive, I feel like. And you do a lot of the, just like, here we're going to talk about the JonBenet Ramsey case for 4 hours. I was hoping they would never get to that point, but they're kind of there. And so it gets boring. It's just very exploitive. But there's a lot of investigation that goes on, and how they find these people, and how they find out where they work and who they are and where they live. Because most of these people, they're anonymous on some anonymous chat. And you can't even find out what their real names are, and how they start from the very beginning. Find the people, just really, really interesting. And so I kind of got addicted to it, kind of got attached to it. So, and then last night, my wife has been saying she's not ever going to watch it, and I changed her mind last night. I made her watch it, and now I think she might be kind of hooked to it. It's good investigation, and when they dig into it. So, like the first, I don't want to. Let's just say spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. I'm not going to go like really deep into an episode and reveal all this stuff. I'm just going to tell you one thing, but it is a spoiler alert. Guy, one of the guys, they could not find him. They couldn't find him. And one of the girls, see, they have these girls that disguise themselves as like 13-year-olds. Last night it was 12-year-olds. These guys are contacting 12-year-olds. Well, at least who they think is 12-year-olds. But one guy was trying to get a 15-year-old, and he was going to meet her, and they were going to have pizza, right? And so they were just going to go get the guy's license number, his tag number, and they go to this bar, and then they make up this thing, and she says, my mom found out that I'm here. I have to go home. And so she leaves really quick. So the guy texts her a picture of the pizza, and he's like, pizza's ready, LOL or whatever. When he did that, he left his credit card on the pizza box, and they were able to get his name. Ha! Dumbass. And that's how they busted him. And so, like, that most of these guys are not that smart, and if you just keep working with them, they're gonna give themselves up, just like that guy. But it's just amazing how they find out these people in the investigation that they do. So I'm hooked. I'm watching it whenever it comes on now. Speaking of whenever it comes on, I hope you're listening to the podcast whenever it happens, right? I do have, let's just get this cleared up. I got a listener line. If you want to be a part of the show, you want to talk about anything, you can talk about what I just talked about. Tell me if you like the show, don't like the show. What other shows do you like? 678-348-0008 is the listener line that I've set up for you to call or text that same number. And give me some feedback. You could be a part of the show. You could be. See, I don't have interactions with anyone on the show. It's just me. I'm sorry to ruin it for you. It's boring. It's just me. But you could be a part of it. You could be the other person. That's what the listener line is for you to be the other person. And you can call. You could also send me an email, rick@apocalyptic.com, or attack me on Facebook, please. Jeez, just send me an instant message. Tell me what you think. And if you don't want your name on the air, just say don't. This is private. This person, don't put my name on the air. Give me it like one of those people on the show last night. You got to get a fake name. One of the guys was just The Bachelor. That was his name, The Bachelor. If I'm gonna be a creeper, deviant guy, I want a better name than The Bachelor. Yeah, they better give me a better one. I'm not gonna be doing it, so I don't even need a name. But anyway, let me ask you this. So I'm thinking this morning a little bit about this. How are you aware of the ways in which you limit yourself? I think we all, to a certain extent, limit ourselves for different reasons. We all have different reasons for doing it. Sometimes it's just, I just kind of want to weed out certain things in my life. I don't have to weed them out. Here's an example. Dietary things. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. I know what I could tolerate. I know what I prefer not to tolerate. All right. Dietary, like in any kind of cooking. So I don't like sweet stuff mixed with my savory. I don't like sweet main foods. So when I was a kid, I don't like honey chicken. I don't want honey on my ham. I didn't like anything like that. Anything mixed like that, not a big fan of. Salads are okay, but I don't like sweet salads. I'll have a salad or I'll have a fruit salad. Either of those is fine. I don't want my fruit in my regular salad. Let's keep them away. And that's me. That's just the way I am. So I think it was the first of the year. My wife has been talking about making some inventive stuff, and she cooks. She has a full-time job, and then she cooks, and she does it because she wants to. I don't ask her to do it. It's just she likes to cook. But because of that, I kind of feel bad about any kind of criticism about the food. So even if it's really bad food or something I don't like, or it's just really it's just yucky, I just won't say anything about it. I'll just eat it because I should, right? She's doing this. It's her gift, and I shouldn't complain. Now, there have been a couple of times when she made something that was like she put way, 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 way too much salt in it, or it just was nasty. And it hasn't happened much in 10 years, maybe. Let's just say 3 times that's happened. And when it does, sometimes I just have to go, I can't do this. I can't eat this. But I told her at the first of the year, I was like, all right, so here's the thing. Like I have this list of things I don't want to eat. And so I said, I will eat whatever you cook. If you're willing to cook it, I will eat it. I will just shut my mouth. And because a lot of times I'll just say, I don't want lemon in my food. So I love lemons. I like them in a lot of stuff. I love lemon drinks. I like lemon pie. I like lemon cake. I like lemons, but I don't want lemon in my noodles. That's just me. Some people love lemon noodles. So I just said, I'm going to experiment and I'm going to open myself up. Whatever you cook, I'm just going to shut up and I'll eat it. And then I might find some foods I really like, right? So that was my plan. And for the most part, I've done that. Now, there's some foods. There's a list. It's a really small list, though, of food I just don't want to do. Like, I do not like goat cheese, period. I don't want goat cheese in anything. I still, every once in a while, I might have a little bit of goat cheese on something and I can't finish it. And so I know no more goat cheese. That's done. Can't do it. So a few years ago, I was like that with butternut squash. I was like, nope, too sweet. Don't want it in my food. Leave butternut squash out. So she said, I'm going to make a dish with butternut squash in it. I was like, you know how I feel about that? She said, yeah, I'm just going to try it. So I said, all right, I'll see if I can eat it. It was butternut squash chili. No, I'm not. That's nasty. So she made it, put it in front of me. One of the best bowls of chili I had. I couldn't taste any butternut squash. The butternut squash tasted like potatoes. I didn't know this about butternut squash, that it could taste like potatoes. And so now I'm fine with it. And that just came because I just said, okay, I'll try it. I dropped the limitations that I had put on myself as being a non-butternut squash liker. And I said I will do it. And because of that, I found a dish that I enjoyed. So every once in a while, I'll have to go in and sample the foods that I don't like. I don't like sweet potatoes, period. That's just not my food. But I did find out several years ago that I like sweet potato desserts, like sweet potato casserole or cheesecake or something. Oh, it's awesome. Before that, I didn't like it in anything. But I still can't have it in regular foods. I can't just eat sweet potatoes. So I have to every once in a while test that out. But because of that, I put these labels on myself that I'm not this kind of person. So a couple nights ago, my wife made a lemon dish, noodles and some other stuff with lemon in it. And I was really concerned about it. But it was the same situation after it's over. I was like, this is really good. But what was funny, or strange funny, is I would never have that again. I would never just go out and order it, even though it was really, really good. It's just, I don't know why. I still call myself a non-lemon food eater. So I have those mental things that I limit myself on, and I will continue to do it in a lot of ways. But I'm curious about how we do it, because sometimes we know what we're doing, but I'm curious how we do it sometimes when we don't know. We, as human beings, we have these things that we love to do to give ourselves limitations, which sounds so weird. Now, there are things that just kind of happen, like age. Every once in a while, I hear about somebody retiring at 65. Or today, I was reading a poem about, and it said something about a 60-year-old woman who's a grandmother cooking. I just thought, that's older than me. I mean, younger than me. That poem was making grandparents really, really old. And to me, 60 seems kind of young now because I'm there. But those limitations, if I put them on myself, and I think that's what happened years ago, because have you noticed that grandparents now look like, 30-something people? Not necessarily that they're trying. It's just that's the way society is. We all try to get healthy. We all try to go out and exercise a little more. We interact more. We wear fashion that grandparents used to not wear. My granddad dressed, probably at my age, dressed like a grandpa. But those are the limitations that they put on themselves that don't need to be there. Why do we have to make 60 a cutoff of anything? Martha Stewart just posed in the bikini on Sports Illustrated. And not that we needed to see that, but okay, that was her decision. Why not? What's wrong with an 80-year-old being in a bikini? She looks fine. I mean, I think more than anything, it's just to prove that it can be done. Why do 80-year-olds need to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated in bikini? I mean, other than the fact that they can make a lot of money and they want to do it. But there's no limitations for that. She just said, okay, I'm going to bust that one down. But I think each of us, as we go along, and I know some of them I'm very aware of, and some of them are about age. I just say, okay, I can't do that anymore. But I find myself at a place right now in my life where I'm having to do some things, like I'm getting ready to close down my gallery. And when I do, I gotta do something for a living. I'm not really ready to think about going out job hunting, but to a certain extent, that's kind of what I'm going to have to do. I got to start looking for employment at my age when most of my friends and people I know are retiring and I'm just looking for a new job. But again, why not? What's wrong with that? I mean, I've thought about it. I'm just like, wow, there's so many things, because I don't need a full-time job. I'm not looking for a career, but there are things that I can do to actually help people out at my age with my experience, where I don't have to look for a job like I used to have to look for a job. I just need full-time employment, I just go out and have some fun. I could do something that I enjoy doing and make a little money on it. Why not? But here's what we do. So zodiac is one of the ways. So we're born a certain way. We're born a certain time. So this is our personality. I had this discussion the other day. We started talking about zodiac. I'm a Taurus, so I'm this kind of person. I act this way, right? I match up with this person. Oh, you don't want to be with a Pisces. You want to be with this person. Taurus and Cancer. That's supposed to be a good combination. So you do that and you start limiting yourself. It's a mental thing. You start putting these ideas in your head, and then you meet a Scorpio and you're just like, no, I can't be with you. I'm a Taurus. That's never going to work. And there's nothing that says that it can or can't work other than your head. These are just things that we have limited ourselves. The whole Myers-Briggs thing. I'm an INFP. And I read that and I'm like, it just feels like I'm reading a manual of me. It's like, this is my personality right here. Perfect. But if I read another one, I can find things in there that's me. And if someone starts saying, well, you might be an INFT or an INTP or whatever they call it, I would kind of freak out. I'd be like, no, that's not me. I'm the INFP. That's me. Because I've limited myself. I've defined myself by 4 letters that I read. Someone told me. Nothing scientific about it. And then we'll do it with the enneagrams, and we do it with personality tests, and we do it. It's just we like to say this is who we are, and we can't get out of that. It's just we're defining ourselves. It doesn't make any sense at all. So let's stop. Let's just decide. I mean, it's okay. It's okay to say I'm this type of person. It's okay to say I'm Taurus, I'm Leo. It's fun. It's fun. Just don't use it as a way to prevent you from doing something new or doing something that you want to do or meeting somebody interesting. Don't say, oh, I can't be in a relationship with you. It would never work. Well, try it out. How do you know it wouldn't? Just try it. Maybe it would. Maybe it wouldn't. I know one thing about myself, and I was thinking about that this morning, is I don't know why, but I'm the kind of person who would rather watch than participate. And I've always been that way. I'm a little voyeuristic, I suppose. I would go to a party and I would sit in a chair and just watch people. That's what I prefer to do. And people think I'm not having fun, but it's not true. I'm having a lot of fun. It's the best fun. And everybody's up participating, doing the things, playing the games, just talking to each other, whatever. And I'm sitting there watching it. And that's what I love to do that. That's that's the kind of fun I have at a party. And I'm that way on other things. Like, I'm not a sports person. I'm not an athlete. I'm not, if I go anywhere, a group, if I just, bungee jumping, I guess. I don't know. I would rather just kind of watch it. There's a few things maybe I'd like to participate in, but not much. I just enjoy watching stuff. You're going to play cards? I'll watch you play cards. Not a big gamer. Don't really want to. Oh, I like watching people play games. So and I don't know if that's defining me, because sometimes I will do something and I don't have fun. I was like, I'd rather just watch it. So I kind of learned that about me. Maybe I think every once in a while you have to kind of break out of it. You have to try new things. But like podcasting, I enjoy this participation, having trouble with the lips today. You're participating too as a listener, but you're kind of like the voyeur. You're kind of like the person watching. You were the person listening. I'm the person doing. The roles are reversed just a little bit, but on an everyday situation. So I don't know why I am an introvert. Again, that's a limiting thing, but I'm kind of an introvert. But nonetheless, I was a performer. I loved theater. I loved doing shows, loved doing plays, did stand-up comedy. Stand-up comedy's fun, but it also hurt because you have to pretend like you're outgoing. You have to pretend like when you're talking people that you're interested in when you're talking to them. And that's hard to do. It's playing an act. But again, you got to get to know yourself, and you can know yourself and just go, oh, I'm not that kind of person. There's nothing wrong with saying I'm not that kind of person, but sometimes break out, because we're all really kind of the same person. Really, we could all do things the same. We can all, even if you don't like doing something, you could do it. I can eat lemon in my noodles. I can. I just say no, I'm not going to do it because I'm a non-noodle lemon eater. All right, I'm a cold coffee drinker today. That's what I'm doing. I hope you're feeling well. Hope everything's going well in your life. I hope that you're going to come back and listen to the podcast. Sometimes weeks go by and it's boring. Nothing happens. Don't have a lot of conflict in my life. So I can just sit and tell you things that I think about, or I could tell you things that I do. A couple times I just need to get into some fights, I think, something like that, because other than that, I don't have a whole lot to talk about. Oh, wow, they're cutting me off. Sorry about that. I was going to I had something really interesting to say, and they told me I can't.